Que se sepa, Moscú realizó un lanzamiento de prueba de un misil balístico intercontinental ICBM este martes, informó el Ministerio de Defensa de Rusia. Según el comunicado, el lanzamiento desde el campo de pruebas de Kapustin Yar en la región de Astrashkan fue parte de las pruebas de equipos de combate de próxima generación. El lanzamiento ayudó a confirmar la corrección de las soluciones esquemáticas, estructurales y técnicas utilizadas en el desarrollo de nuevos sistemas de misiles estratégicos, dijo el Ministerio de Defensa. Según el comunicado, la ojiva de prueba de misil golpeó el objetivo en el campo de tiro con la precisión del objetivo.
Esta es la manera más segura de salir de Bakhmut, pero no es segura en absoluto. El video obtenido por CNN de la vista desde un vehículo blindado ucraniano muestra el desierto en el que se ha convertido la ciudad. Y fue en un vehículo como este en el que Marina y Yevgenia escaparon de Bakhmut. Su edificio fue alcanzado en un bombardeo el jueves pasado, matando a 3 personas, entre ellas el nieto de Yevgenia, que tenía 33 años. Tenía que haberlo ayudado, recuerda ella, pero no pude hacer nada. Esperaron en sus casas en ruinas con los muertos durante 3 días antes de que el ejército pudiera rescatarlas. La hija de Marina estaba casada con el nieto de Yevgenia. ¿Qué le voy a decir a mi hija?, dice Marina, afligida. Ella y mis nietos están en Polonia. Este refugio en la cercana ciudad de Chasiv Yar les proporciona algo de comodidad y cobijo del frío, pero aún no están fuera de peligro. Esta ciudad está dentro del alcance de las armas rusas y desde que comenzó la batalla por Bakhmut hace 7 meses ha sido bombardeada con regularidad. En este día, los rusos disparaban municiones incendiarias sobre la ciudad, diseñadas para provocar incendios. Un residente nos mostró una cápsula usada del cohete que cayó. Las autoridades dicen que tal vez quedan 1,000 civiles en Chasiv Yar. Las evacuaciones son posibles, pero no parece haber muchos que estén dispuestos a irse. Alexander arrastra leña a su casa. Aquí no hay electricidad ni agua potable. Él huyó a Chasiv Yar desde Siversk, ubicada a 1 hora de aquí, donde su casa fue destruida. ¿Se va a ir? No, responde. Mi esposa murió aquí. Mis padres están enterrados aquí. Sergei Chaus es el jefe de la administración militar de la ciudad. Desde abril, tratamos de convencer a la gente de que se vaya, hablando con ellos, razonando con ellos, me dice. Pero no podemos obligarlos a que se vayan. Una vez más, los ancianos y los enfermos se niegan a irse, a pesar del peligro. Ben Wedeman, CNN, Chasiv Yar, este de Ucrania.
7-year-old Carolina at the Ukraine house in D.C. She came to the U.S. for medical treatment. This little girl lost both her legs last fall from a Russian attack. Visits like these are part of the job for Ukraine's ambassador to the United States, Oksana Markarova.
You were recently asked about your job, and you said, I thought I was going back to a comfortable life in private business when the president asked me to serve as ambassador to the United States.
Yes, comfortable is not the word to describe, of course, this.
Markarova became ambassador 2 years ago this month. She wasn't even there a year when Vladimir Putin invaded Ukraine on February 24th, 2022.
We were preparing for it. We knew that the intent to attack us was there, but you never completely believe until, unfortunately, something horrific like war happens. I would wake up every morning and think, was that a bad dream? But we worked literally 24/7.
Your background is in finance. When you came to the United States as ambassador, your goal was about business and about getting investment in Ukraine.
I definitely didn't have all the knowledge about all the military capabilities. Now I know them by names, codes, and everything else. But yes, I became a wartime ambassador. Not something I was preparing myself for, but I don't think you can ever be really prepared for it. But I think my previous finance experience is actually very useful.
How?
A lot of help that we have been receiving from the US, from President Biden, Congress on a strong bipartisan basis, is about security assistance, but also budget assistance.
On most days, she's working outside the embassy, shuttling between various government agencies around Washington.
It's very important for the ambassador to be the voice of Ukraine here. We are fortunate to have such a strong bipartisan support. We have champions, I wouldn't even say champions of Ukraine, champions of democracy.
On this vote, the yeas are 368, the nays are 57.
Helping Ukraine had been a rare corner of bipartisanship in Congress, but now the new House Republican majority is divided on it, as is the GOP field of presidential hopefuls.
The fastest path to peace is to help Ukraine win the war.
I care more about securing our own border in the United States than I do about the Russia-Ukraine border.
Is there concern that the bipartisan support that has been extraordinary will weaken as Ukraine becomes a political issue internally here?
I really hope it will not weaken. Do we have to inform American people more? Of course. Is any support that any country and Ukraine right now has in the US is promised for the years to come? Definitely not. It's a task for us to keep informing people, telling people, sharing the truth with them.
The International Criminal Court has issued 2 warrants of arrest.
Last month, the ICC brought war crime charges against Putin, accusing him of illegally deporting Ukrainian children to Russia, the first formal charges since he invaded Ukraine.
They have been kidnapped, deporting them to Russian Federation, and forcefully putting them either through this horrific re-educational camps, schools, or putting them into strangers' families. It's a criminal act which is punishable by the most harsh sentences. These are all the ambassadors, previous ambassadors before me.
Man.
She is the first female Ukrainian ambassador to the U.S.
You've said that in some ways women are better suited as diplomats and especially as ambassadors.
Yes, because I think women are peacemakers and peacekeepers. I think women are always trying to forge partnerships.
She says her husband is a huge source of support.
Could you do this job without a partner who gets it?
It would be much more difficult. The expectations society has from women are still, I think, higher.
How so?
The majority of people still expect that, it's woman that has to take care of children.
It does take a certain kind of man to be comfortable with a wife who is as high profile and as important as you are.
Well, strong men, my husband is definitely one of them, I don't think are intimidated by strong women.
The mother of 4 has 2 school-aged children who live with her in Washington.
They understand what this fight is about. Mm-hmm. They had to probably grow up a little bit faster during this year.
But most Ukrainian children did.
Yes. It's a source of inspiration for me. I learn a lot from my kids.
Right in
Yes.
the middle of Georgetown.
Ukraine's embassy sits in the heart of Georgetown, in a historic building that was once home to Revolutionary War General Forrest.
President George Washington visited this very room.
This is the room where Washington and others drew the outlines of what became D.C., America's capital.
We're very proud, especially now when we fight for our independence, to own a building that has seen people who fought for your independence is remarkable.